What's up, YouTube? And welcome back to Baseline to Baseline. I'm your host, Steve Wright. Well, I'm going to take a break right now with my top 25 teams in the nation. Probably get started back with that later on today. But before that, I wanted to get up on my soapbox for a minute because with the college basketball season coming up next week, something hit me about the NCAA, and I wanted to talk about probation and teams that are facing probation. If you look at it, you have LSU, Arizona, Auburn, Kansas, Oklahoma State. Louisville was hit with firing some coaches, but I wanted to talk about that because, and let me say this: I'm not against any coach paying a player. I'm glad when a coach is going to pay a player or somebody in the alumni is going to compensate this kid and this kid's family, because that coach, those assistant coaches, they have a lifestyle that they can enjoy because of those kids that play for them. So I'm always in favor of a kid being compensated for, because that kid is busting his butt every day for you. So let me just start off by saying that. LSU, the head coach, Will Wade, caught on tape saying he made a strong offer to a kid. They had Sean Miller on tape saying he made a strong offer. The FBI got involved. Auburn, they arrested Chuck Person. Arizona, they arrested Book Richardson, who was Sean Miller's assistant. Louisville, they fired Rick Pitino and two of his coaches, Kenny Johnson and Jordan Fair. I know Rick has resurfaced at Iona. I don't know about the two assistants, but he has resurfaced at Iona. They've got Kansas hit with 9 major violations. So what does that mean? That means Niagara, St. Bonaventure, look out, because they going to get you. They so mad at Kansas, they going to get somebody, and it might as well be you. They might try to get them, but, I doubt it. Like Jerry Tarkanian said years ago, the NCAA got so mad at Kentucky that they gave Cleveland State 5 years probation. And that was true. That was true. The NCAA gets who they want to. Kentucky sent a FedEx package to Chris Mills and his father, excuse me, y'all, with $5,000 in it, and it miraculously came unglued, and somebody knew about it. Who knew? But anyway, of course, Dwayne Casey, the assistant coach, is thrown under the bus, and the head coach, Eddie Sutton, that drunkard who just recently passed, God rest his soul, threw him under the bus, and he took the blame for it because I didn't know it. He just did it on his own. I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, sure you did. Anyway, you drunk on the bench. Anyway, Dwayne Casey was hit and really messed him up, and it should have never happened. It never should have happened. Then you have Oklahoma State, who has the #1 recruit in the country, Cade Cunningham. They get one of their assistant coaches and put them on a year's probation. They're appealing it, hoping that they can get it. But you know how the NCAA is. Good luck. I hope they do get it because, it's low down. The NCAA gets who they want. They get who they want. The HBO did a special, I don't think it's been a year, called The Scheme, where it was about Adidas and some top executives, but they focused on a guy named Christian Dawkins. James Gatto was an Adidas executive. Merle Cole was an Adidas consultant. And Christian Dawkins was what you would identify him as a runner that would get players. Well, after the investigation between the FBI and the other powers that be, They gave Gatto 9 months. Christian Dawkins and Merle Code received 6 months, which they're currently appealing. I hope they don't have to do any time. They shouldn't. I mean, you're trying to send them to jail. And look at what Trump is doing. Look what Trump is doing. And you want to try to send them to jail. How much sense does that make? It's not fair. Life's not fair, but come on, man. What? But anyway, Christian Dawkins is probably the most honest guy in the whole thing because he wanted to funnel the money to the parents and the players. They would get the benefit out of it. Sure, he admitted that he made some mistakes, but he had the best interest of the kid at heart, the best interest of the kid at heart. And he should not have to do time. He's a good guy, got a good family, and I hope all of them get out of this. The FBI set him up, and the FBI knew they set him up, so they didn't even testify at his trial because they set him up. And then he wouldn't snitch on Rick Pitino and whoever they wanted him to snitch on. And which was good, but he said there's no sense in doing that to a coach and assistant coaches. I'm not doing it. So they drew guns on him. They drew guns on him. They were going to shoot a man over basketball. They were going to shoot him. Anyway, good luck, guys, with your appeal. You shouldn't have to do any time, you know. Then you look at the Louisville situation where they fired Rick Pitino because they said he was trying to give $100,000 to Brian Bowen's father, who he had recruited and who had committed to go to Louisville, signed. I guess he had already signed to go to Louisville. They said that Rick was trying to give him $100,000. Rick denied it. Subsequently, Rick sued the NCAA and Louisville, I believe. I think he won it. Whereas the kid is screwed. He's currently playing with the Indiana Pacers, but he's screwed because at the end of his senior year in high school, he was playing as well as any senior in the country. And you could see this kid is going to be a good pro. Now, he's in the pros, but not being able to go to Louisville where Rick Pitino will develop you, it hurt him and it put him back. But hopefully he will continue to grow and be playing soon. But they get who they want. Like I said, they got the assistants. Andre McGee was an assistant to Rick Pitino at Louisville when they had the stripper scandal. And Rick said he knew nothing about it. Nothing. I don't know. With me? Didn't know. What? Strippers? Didn't know. Let's assume that Rick didn't know. Let's assume he didn't know. But don't you think one of the nerds came to him and said, hey, coach, you know, it's a freak show going on over in Minority Hall every weekend or however long ago. What? No, I didn't. You know about that freak show in Minority Hall? Didn't know. So Andre McGee, thrown under the bus. Okay? All right. Okay. Anyway, the NCAA will get who they want. Just like Prop 48, when you put that into effect, it dismantles black kids and keeps them off the floor for a year. It's your way of saying, there's too many black kids out here that are doing well. We got to put an end to this. Let's hold them out a year. Let's screw their lives. This is what you do. Prop 48. One of the most racist rules ever in the NCAA. Because who do you affect? Black kids. Because of a background. Pitiful. But that's how they do. But like I say, they get who they want. Then you go to, back in the day, UCLA, who John Wooden won 10 national championships. The man won 10 national championships, and I'm here to tell you right now that John Wooden was overrated. What? Overrated. You got Kareem for 3 years. You got Bill Walton for 3 years, and you have talent around him, and then you have Sam Gilbert, Papa Sam, who is a one-man recruiting circus, and you told Bobby Knight you just couldn't get Sam away from your program. Bobby Knight said, yeah, you can, why not? Why would you want to get rid of your best assistant coach who's getting everybody you want? So they didn't want to punish UCLA. So what did they do? They went down to Long Beach State and got Jerry Tarkanian. That's where Jerry was before he left to go to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, which ended up being my favorite school with him there. They got them and put them on probation. Then Lute Olson came in and got the job at Long Beach State and got mad at Tarkanian because they were on probation. Okay, Lute. God rest your soul. But anyway, Tarkanian went to UNLV, where subsequently the NCAA harassed him for the whole time he was there. He went to about 4 Final Fours. He won it. One year, I think it was 1990, he won it, almost won it in 91. They ended up having to pay him $2.5 million. The university president and some of the leaders turned against Jerry and wanted him out. And so he resigned because they wanted to make UNLV the Harvard of the West. Yeah, okay. Good luck with that. Good luck. The Harvard of the West. You got to be out your rabbit, you know what, man. No, that's ridiculous. But then you look at, like I say, let's wipe the slate clean, NCAA, Mark Emmert, if you still the boss there. And even if you've got some on the team, wipe the slate clean, start over, and don't put anybody on probation. Let these kids get paid. Let them get compensated for it because they provide a lifestyle for these coaches and these coaches' families. And let them get compensated for by a booster club. You can even level the playing field by how much and so forth, and they can do it on day. But who cares? These kids need to be paid because you let North Carolina get away with academic fraud. Academic fraud. You let them get away with it. But North Carolina, they don't want to get because they let them do anything. And if you look at Dean Smith and Roy Williams, I call them Donald Trump and Don Jr. Because, like, you give somebody everything, like Trump, and he went bankrupt 6 times. Who has a failing casino? Who has a failing casino? A casino. Anyway, just like North Carolina, get all the talent in the world. You look back. Dean Smith should have caught Wooden. Well, Wooden got 10 championships. Ain't no way. Look at all the talent he had that he was getting when nobody else could even compete with them recruiting-wise. He should have caught Wooden. Then he came up with the 4 corners, which was one of the worst things that ever happened in basketball. You got more talent than anybody, and you get a lead, and we're going to hold the ball for 30 minutes and let Phil Ford dribble around like a real dummy, pass the ball, get it back, dribble around, pass the ball, get it back. We're not going to shoot. That's not basketball. Thank God for the shot clock. Thank God for the shot clock. And Roy Williams, same way. You get more than everybody. You have more than everybody at Kansas. You know, and you complained at Kansas when you all got put on probation. You know, and you had everything in Kansas. Went to the Final Four, played Syracuse, and you went up against Carmelo Anthony and whoever else was on the team. And you lost the national championship to Syracuse Carmelo Anthony and his coach, Tui. Anybody know who Tui is? Look up Leave It to Beaver and look up Tui, Tooey, Tui. A friend of mine said, doesn't Jim Boeheim look like Tui to you? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And I was confusing him with another kid. And then he told me who it was. I said, oh, no, I said, Jim Boeheim is Tui. He is Tui. That's who he lost to. But anyway, I don't like players to turn their backs on people that helped them. Chris Webber threw Ed Martin, who's deceased, under the bus because he said that Ed Martin paid him. He made me take the money. I didn't want to take the money. He used me. He took care of me and my family, and I didn't want the money. I was a victim. And thank God for Jalen Rose stepping up and saying, how you going to throw the man under the bus that helped you and your family? Ridiculous. Stop telling. If you get paid by a booster, you got paid. If things didn't work out, you got paid. Don't tell, because you ruin it for another kid who's coming up that's not going to tell, that needs help. Thank God for the G League. You all can put a big dent in the NCAA. Hopefully they will clear everybody to go pro and not have to wait because you're black to go pro. If you were tennis, be like, oh my God, he's 15 and he's in the pros. But if you're black and you play basketball, oh, he should go to college. What a travesty. Why is it a travesty? And you can better take care of your family at 17, 18, at 18 years old. The baseball would rather you go pro out of high school. But anyway, let me get out my soapbox. And the next time you'll see me covering the number 10 team in the nation in my preseason top 25. Thanks for listening to me and letting me rant and vent. Please hit like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for all who have shared. I appreciate you, and God bless.